Hi there, I'm Marianne from dynamicproposals.nz, and I believe any business can write a better business proposal, and I'm here to tell you how. When I have to develop a proposal, I always make myself an action plan or a to-do list to make sure I get everything done on time. And I do that whether it's just me or a whole team of people. So, I've downloaded the RFP, I've decided to go ahead with the proposal, now I develop my action plan. So here are some of the key parts of my action plan. You can adapt and build on these based on the actual RFP that you're responding to. Here are my basic steps. First of all, I appoint a project manager. Now sometimes, if it's just a small team, that might be me, but not always. The project manager is there to make sure everything happens in full, on time, to coordinate all the moving parts and ensure the proposal ends up high quality, directed and in full and delivered on time. Also part of this first decision is deciding what approach we're going to take to the proposal. For example, are we going to use proposal management software? Are we going to outsource part of the proposal? It's thinking around what the work is going to look like to get a really great proposal together. Then, the next step is deciding what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, and then aligning that with the timeline that has been put forward by the buyer. This means you're getting your work done in full, on time, and to the best of your ability. I normally divide the required content into big buckets, which I allocate across the team, or else I might allocate it to myself. So those big buckets tend to be around understanding the buyer and the buyer's needs, and that is both what is included in the RFP and my own research about that buyer. It might include going to visit the buyer, it might include internet research, it might include talking to customers of the buyer, all manner of things to make sure I understand the buyer, the buyer's needs, and am able to reflect that back to them in the proposal. Second bucket of work is what our solution is going to be. So we understand the buyer, the buyer's needs, the problem that they've outlined in the proposal. Now we need to come up with our solution and our price and why we think it is the best solution. Next bucket is our credibility as a supplier, what our capacity is, what our track record is, and all of our proof points to demonstrate why we are the right people for the job. Although this won't appear in the proposal, it's really important to do a competitive analysis. Who else do you think might be putting in proposals for this contract? What are their advantages? How can you make yourself stand out? What are their weaknesses? What are their strengths? Really important to go into any proposal situation knowing that you are unlikely to be alone and that you need to evidence how good you are against your competition, both as a company and in terms of your specific solution. I also allocate a large action around compliance documentation. So that's bringing together all of the required compliance documentation. That might be insurance documents, it might be health and safety documents, it might be statutory declarations, it could be all manner of things. But those need to be brought together and evidenced in the proposal. Before I start developing the proposal, really important to have a visual style guide and a writing guide. Please see my other videos for tips on what makes a really good style for a proposal and some great writing tips. So now everyone's given me their contributions. I've got lots of pieces of paper or lots of emails, lots of attachments, lots of documents. It's time to put it all together. This is where my style guide and my writing guide will really help me. And looking through all of the tips in these videos and checking that you've done everything as well as you can before you submit your proposal. Good luck. So that's it for today. If you want to know more, check out my other videos, subscribe to my free YouTube channel, or go to my website dynamicproposals.nz for more information. Thank you for listening.